And welcome back to Duck Solar Gaming and Haut-Beyleron. That's right, we are back here in France and we are continuing on with our farming empire. Right, just do a bit of a catch up. So, in the last episode, the last two episodes, I think, we were selling off all of our produce because it was February, good sell prices for everything, and effectively what we ended up doing is we ended up clearing our stocks of all of our produce. So we sold off all of our silage bales. We sold off all of our what eggs we had. We sold off all of our strawberries, strawberries, tomatoes, lettuce, our grape juice, the oil that we had, all that sort of stuff. So we got rid of it all and made some money. And we made, I can't remember now, it was 740,000 or something we ended up having in the kitty, which we've now gotten rid of. All right. So I guess the question is, what do we do to get rid of it? Well, we're down 139,000. So we didn't buy anything in the way of new equipment. So there's no new equipment there. What we did do, however, was we did purchase new land and we bought this field here. So this is just across the river from our farm, just over through there. And we've bought this new field because it's a big kick-ass field. Field 36, there you go. So that's what we've bought. Now, we could have paid down the loan a bit, but we decided that it was better to expand. So we've done exactly that. So we've bought 36. Now, my goal is I'm going to buy 36 and 35. Once I've got that area fully populated, that's when I'm going to start working back on the loan. I had a bit of a think about how we're going to plan this through, and that's what I'm going to do. Because the reason I want field 35 is over here there's a bit of white or empty space. And if we go for a bit of a run over there, in here, there's a bit of space in here. And what I was thinking I would do, as we just got there so you can see the elevation, I thought we might put some cows over in here. Maybe 1 or 2 pens of cows, and this will be another area where we have some production stuff. So we've got our production stuff over there. You've got the warehouse, the oil factory, you've got the grape processing facility, and we've got our greenhouses. And I thought, well, what we do is we've got all the fields over there, and then over this end here we'll put in a cow barn, maybe even a sheep barn. I mean, who knows? But we'll do all that. So that was the plan looking forward. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to get cracking on prepping our field. So first thing I'm going to do is I've done the edges of the field. We're going to bring our time back up. There we go. And what I want to do is I want to get this guy removing all the stones from the field so we can continue on with prepping this field. Now, while he starts off with that, we're going to have a look at the other fields as well. So what we've got at the moment with our fields is we've got 43 and 41 have a crop planted in them. I think both of them have canola. Is that correct? Yeah, both have canola. So that's going to be going into our oil processing plant. The other ones we've harvested need to be prepped. Now, majority of them we've actually mulched. So we've actually gone through and mulched over them. 42 is the exception there. So now what we need to do is we need to go over and cultivate them and then get them prepared, ready for seeding. Now, the actual seeding is not going to take place straight away because we can't seed our crops until March. And most of the crops are going to be sunflower, stuff like that. I am going to do some sorghum, I think, as well in one of the bigger crops because we need, well, yeah, I don't know. In fact, what I might do, let's have a look. What do the chickens take? Chickens take wheat, barley, and sorghum. Yes, I'm going to have to do some sorghum because I've missed my opportunity to sow wheat. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some sorghum in. That means we have to wait to April though. But we're closer to April up than what we are for September. So we'll put some sorghum in. It's a quick crop as well. So what I was thinking about doing is I might put sorghum in field 44 and field 37 because this field here will take over a lot of the weight of our crops in here running sunflower. So this will become sunflower, sorghum in these two fields here, and then we'll put sunflower or whatever in 40, 42 and 39. So that's the plan. All right, that's the plan. Let's get into it and get it done. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab the Zerion here and we're going to head on over and get some cultivating done. So obviously our cultivator is just in there. grab that and head on. Oh, is that the cultivator? Yes. I thought it was a roller there for a minute. All right. And we'll start with the closest fields first, and we'll just get these done, and then we'll power on through, and we'll then get through to March, and then we can start getting all the sowing done. So, all right. I hope that plan works for you, because it works for me. All right, so hang on, that is the yeah. Right. I'm losing the plot. It's all right. Don't worry about me. And so what we should see now is this should be taking off the mulch state and going to a cultivated state. I would hope. Hang on, maybe that is. Shouldn't that? I don't think I need to do. I don't think I need to cultivate after a mulch, do I? We'll have a look. I'm going to see what we've got, because I think I'm confusing myself at the moment. That's definitely the disc harrow. So it's not making a change to the field. So I think I'm going to need to do that. So that's okay. All right. Let's fold you back up. And we'll go and have a look, make sure none of the other fields need to be actually done, because they've all been mulched, haven't they? This is one being mulched. I think they've all been done. So I don't know. Anyway, what we'll do is we'll just have a look and see what else we've got to do. There's nothing at all I can be planting at the moment, so what we may well do is I may just fast forward anyway, and we'll come back into planting season. So we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. As you can see, we've fast forwarded now through to March. So we are now in preparation time, or time for our seeding. It wasn't what I was sort of planning on doing, but anyway, I thought I had some cultivation to do, but I sort of didn't, so it's okay. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start our seeding. So, as we said, well, in fact, I shouldn't be here. I'm going to the wrong field, so it's not been a good start at all. So we're going to leave that alone. I'm going to head back over here because we're going to put sorghum in this field. I forgot that we decided on that. And this field over here is where we need to start. So we're going to get over here and do that instead. Right, so now we'll unfold and we're going. So we're going to plant sunflowers in here, and then we'll be good to go from there. All right, so let's just get going. So we're still going to maintain, obviously, doing oil as our one of our main crops, and along with the grapes, obviously, until such time as we develop any further. But certainly, it's a bit of a money maker for us at the moment, so it makes sense to maximise our profits from what we're putting in, purely from the perspective of we've got the infrastructure there. It's just a matter of putting the crops in, then the crops go for processing, and then we make more money. So that's what we're going to do for now. Now, like I said, we'll develop that a little bit further as time goes on further in the series. But whether we get to the point of having dairies and sugar plants and anything else like that, well, that's another matter altogether, because as we've said, as new maps come out, this current series will probably be the first one to go. But anyway, I'm enjoying playing this map at the moment, and I'll continue to do that until such time as I find another map that's worthy enough to remove this from my recording schedule. Now, that being said, as I've said before, doesn't mean that it's the most popular one that all you as viewers are watching. However, it's certainly one that I'm enjoying playing on, and I'm going to continue doing so. And then obviously once also we finish as a series and take it off the air, I'll continue playing it as a solo game as well. So that would be what I would end up doing. Alright, we'll just curl in and grab this little part here that we haven't got. Like so. Alright. Let's go to another header row here. So yeah, so with that nice big field now, that gives us a huge opportunity to get some nice big yields of sunflower or even canola off if we end up changing it to canola at some point, and really sort of getting a lot of oil produced, and effectively getting to the point where we should have that continuously running and not running out of materials. I mean, at the moment we're not quite producing enough raw crop to keep that running all the way through the year, but that's just something that will come with time, effectively. So yeah. But we also need to be mindful of making sure we've got other crops running, hence why we're doing the sorghum and stuff, to make sure that we can feed our animals when we get animals on the board, all that sort of stuff. Now, I was saying about chickens, I don't actually have chickens yet. That's what I was looking at doing. So that's one of the reasons why, wrong button. That's one of the reasons why we want the sorghum or oats as a bit of a stockpile as well, so as we can put chickens on the map, and then we can start producing some eggs. Now, eggs are another crop or another output that's actually very profitable in FS22. Certainly has been so far from my experience. Not that I've got a lot of egg deliveries done, but from what I've seen so far, like a semi-trailer load full of eggs makes a good couple of $100,000. So depending on the sell price at the time, if you sell it at the high yield price, then you are going to make some good money from the eggs and the chickens. So makes sense. And I mean, the cost of running the chickens is so minimal. It's something that's a bit of a no-brainer. mean, it's much like the bees. I mean, the bees are a bit of a no-brainer as well. You can see we've actually had put out bees, obviously, in different areas, just basically to get us up and running with honey. And that again is, as I've not lowered the thing because my button didn't work. It's a bit of a no-brainer. It's a bit of money for nothing, effectively, and it's good money. I mean, let's face it. Right, let's coordinate these buttons so they work properly. Right, thank you. Yes, I mean, honey can make a good amount of money as well. So for minimal input and minimal work between the chickens and the eggs, the chickens with their eggs and then the honey, you can make a good amount of money just from those two as ancillary inputs and money makers, basically. So, but we'll look at getting a chicken pen up and running when we next get some. Well, in fact, we can probably almost do it now, but I don't think I've got enough in the way of feed to set up any chickens at the moment, really comfortably. We might have a look once we finish this field, see if we have got enough, and then I might have a look and see if I can put a chicken pen down somewhere without interfering with our current farming lots, and go from there. In fact, I might actually go put on the other side of field 37, that little area above the greenhouses might be a good place to put some chickens. Oh no, actually, what am I saying? I've got chickens over at the warehouse. I thought I had chickens in place. Right, so we have got chickens done. But I might put another one in just to keep that going a bit. See, I've really lost the plot tonight. I'm doing this on a Thursday night, recording this video on a Thursday night, and I really haven't sort of gone and. Normally I sort of sit down and have a bit of a play and a bit of a look around before we actually get into the recording, but I haven't done that tonight. And yeah, I'm all the worse for it, obviously. And my driving skills are poorer than average. All right, but we've almost finished this field, so that's a good start. We've at least got something done, so we can't argue too much with that. And wipe the time, and then of course, because I look away. Oh, jeez, what a mess! Right, we might just abort this entire video and just start again from scratch. Obviously, if you're seeing it, I haven't done that. I should do. Like we've always said, warts and all. If I screw up, you get to see it. I don't tend to edit it out. I may edit out all the repercussions and things I have to do to fix something that I screw up with, but you'll see the cause and the effect, basically. All right. Last main run up the field. We'll just try to those two little areas that we've got in the field, then we'll go from there. We'll move on to the next field, and we'll be good to go. Okay. Last little bit to tidy up is just here. Okay. Now we've got 2 fields left to seed. Now I also do want to have a look at the used sales area as well. One of the things I was tempted to do when I had the money, there was a combine, I think there was in the used sales. And I'm at the point now, especially with that new field, we're in a position where we should probably look at upgrading our combine. But I don't really have to at the moment, but it'd be nice. So let's have a quick look. I'm going to have a look at a couple of quick things. So in here, cheese pallets are cheap. Oh, that really helps me. Oh, there we go. 71.50, 176,000. That's not a bad price. A Rossel mash. No, it's not going to help me. Yeah, that's not a bad price. Now, 176,000. Now, if I was to sell the Deutz-Fahr, which isn't going to get me much money, 58,000. That'll take me up to. That'll be enough to buy the combine. Then I've got to get the header trailer. So the header's going to cost me. Well, let me see. I really want the bigger draper. That's 89,000. 89,000 for the Terraflex draper. So really, I'm talking about another. Well, maybe I could just go to 3050. Still, we're talking about another 70 grand on top. So if I sell the header, I get 14,000. So that's really not going to make a difference. Okay. Now we have absolutely nothing to sell at the moment. It's not as if even if I have a glut of equipment that I don't need anymore. What I've got is what I'm keeping, sort of thing. So there's nothing there to sell to do that, and there's certainly nothing in the way of crop that we've got stored up to sell. We've got a little bit of sorghum, a little bit of soybeans, some grass, some straw. So there's nothing, as you can see, there's nothing there to really sell. So we're going to have to take a hit and just miss that opportunity, I think, and that'll be fine. All right, let's go again. So obviously still sowing for sunflowers. Then once we've done the seeding, we'll come over and roll it all in, and then basically that'll be most of the jobs done, except for feeding the chooks and that sort of stuff, and finishing prepping the new field until harvest time, or until the canola comes into harvest. I think that'll come into harvest. That will come into harvest before the other crops will, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to that. But yeah, so look, I don't know. We'll see. So probably looking at updating our combine harvester again, probably around February, when we've got some products available, and also we've got a high sell price. Unless, of course, we've got produce available that we've made during the year now, and we get a good deal, comes back into the used shop. But I definitely won't be going out and buying a brand new combine harvester at this point in time. Right. Alright, so we've just continued. There's our first row of headers done, so that should be okay for that. And then we'll just continue with the update. In fact, what I might do, here we go. Let's just get this one cracking as well. Why not? Sort of already lined ourselves up, so we can just get this one started. It's not going to make any difference to us, because that's going to be the next one to do anyway, so why would it make any difference? Now, we do want to check in, see how our stone collecting is going on the other field. He's at 19% full, so he's got plenty of room yet with his stones, so don't have to worry about that for the moment. Alright. So I did contemplate buying the block of land in front of us, purely from the fact it's got extra land available with it too. But as you can see, the land's not really viable for building on. So we decided that it was probably better to get the bigger plot of land that can give us more yield of a crop, more so than land that we would have to do a lot of terraforming on to make use of. If we even got to the point of making use of it. So that's why we ended up going with the field that we did, basically. So, because I know we'd previously spoken about getting this block of land next, but in the end of the day, it just didn't seem as though it was a logical decision to get that, as I'm going all over the shop again. Anyway, all right, there we go. Now, I mean, I could put a hired hand on this as well, but there's no point because we haven't got anything else to go on with at the moment. So seeding is the primary task at hand until such time as we get everything seeded, all the fields ready to go, and then we'll do some rolling and stuff like that. But I mean, I could start doing some rolling, but the other problem is the only other tractor we've got is the New Holland for the grapes. So the baby New Holland. And it's not really designed. I mean, it could do the rolling because it's not a taxing job, but I think we'll just leave it where it is for now. Now you can see Giants haven't fixed the problem with seeders and planters and all that going past the edge when you're looking at it in the distance. When you come up close, it's obviously not going through, but makes you wonder sometimes when Giants can't fix something but our modders can. So like for instance, I know one of the things with Stevie's updated Elm Creek edit, which was updated a little while ago, in fact while I'm recording this, was updated a couple of days ago, but anyway, now it's a while ago for you guys watching this, but he managed to get rid of it from Elm Creek. So I mean, if our modders can do it, well, let's just leave that there. Very disappointing. And I mean, let's have it. I will warn people there is a bit of a rant on here. I am going to start ranting about it. So, Giants released and announced the DLC details for their first DLC, or their first, whatever they're calling it now. Anyway, to say I was bitterly disappointed would be, well, it's probably an understatement to a degree, but I'm not surprised. Is worse than that. It's a very poor choice unless they bring a lot more equipment in. I get that they want to support the grapes and the olives a bit more. I understand that. I have no real problem with that. But what was it? 10 tractors under 100 horsepower or something? I mean, seriously, Giants, have you got rocks in your head? I mean, there's lots of other stuff they could be bringing out along with that, and certainly I hope that what we've seen so far is not the limit of the amount of tractors and stuff they're coming out with. But it just seems as though, I mean, look, they've clawed back, in my opinion, they've clawed back some reputation from their user base with FS22. I think they've gone a long way to repairing the damage they did to a lot of people with FS19, myself included, and I've quite openly said that I'm very pleasantly surprised with where FS22 stood on release, and even where it is now. I mean, there are some minor things like the field thing I was just talking about is a minor gripe, but it's by no means a problem that causes you to not play the game. I mean, yeah, look, it looks a little bit terrible there in the distance, but that's all it is. I mean, when we get a bit closer, there you go, it disappears. So, but certainly, I mean, if that's what they're doing, if it's, I think it was 10 tractors or 9 tractors or something, it's just stupidity, I think. But anyway, I'm not going to get too invested into a rant on this because I just don't think it's worth my time. But and look, I mean, a lot of people I've seen commenting on the Giants forum and on other discords and stuff like that. I haven't seen many people that are actually happy with it, to be honest. And a lot of people are obviously also pinging in saying, well, why don't you fix this, fix that, all this sort of stuff. I mean, there are still bugs in the game that they haven't fixed, even with the latest patch, 1.3, or whatever it is. And realistically, you can't blame people for bitching about that. I mean, the game was released in November, we're now in March, and yet again, we've still got shit. And on top of that, the patch broke some other stuff. So, I mean, but then again, I mean, that's really, Giants has been breaking games with patches since God knows when. But yeah, it's not something I'm looking forward to. And a lot of people have said they're glad they didn't get the seasons pass and all that sort of stuff. And I get and understand that. I got the seasons pass, and I guess, yeah, I'm regretting that at the moment too, because I mean, what's coming with the first drop or first DLC is not exactly exciting in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed in that myself, but time will tell. So we've got a little bit of time till it's going to be released. Hopefully, they'll put some other equipment in there to keep us happy. But if it ends up just being purely a DLC based around the grapes and the olives, which it seemingly looks like at the moment, then I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of unhappy people. I mean, because the other thing too, I don't know how many people actually really do a lot of grape work or olive work. I mean, like myself, I've done olives on Elm Creek. We got rid of the olives after we did a harvest. I think we did 3 or 4 harvests on it, because the time to invest in it is just long. We've got the grapes here still. I have talked about extending the grapes, but I'm sort of holding back on that, because again, the time it takes to invest in managing the grapes, I understand, and I don't mind doing it, but it just gets too long in the tooth, and especially when you're doing content like we are here. People get bored of seeing the same thing episode after episode. And I mean, if I had 3 or 4 fields full of grapes, there'd either be a lot of time they'd be missing, as in we wouldn't be recording it, or alternatively, they'd be seeing far too much of just pure grape work. So I mean, it's one of those things, I guess. But let me know in the comments. You're playing FS22. How much grape and olive work have you been doing? So let me know. I'd be interested to see how many people tell me that they're running grapes or olives full time on their maps, and how much they're running. So chime in down below in the comments, and let's have a look and see what everyone's doing with those 2 particular crops, which were new for FS22. Anyway, that's time for this episode. So thanks very much for watching. I will just stop here and just check to see how our other hired hand is going over on the other field. So I'll just pull up the map and have a look. He's pretty close to finishing. He stopped up here, hasn't maintained his track, so I'll have to go over there and finish that. I'll finish that hand manually after we've finished here, and then when we come back, we will be finished with the seeding for now, because we then have to wait for 37 and 44 to be able to be seeded, which will be in April. So what we may well do is we may fast forward to April. There's not a lot of other stuff going on at the moment, so that's probably the plan that we'll do. And when we come back in April, we'll start prepping those other 2 fields with our sorghum planting, and we'll got to do some rolling as well. So the next episode we'll come back, we'll do some rolling in these fields, then we'll probably skip ahead to April, and we'll get the sorghum planted into the fields that are remaining. Anyway, so thanks so much for watching. Like I said, leave a comment down below in relation to the grapes and the olives. Don't forget, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing, and make sure that if you do subscribe, you press that alarm notification icon as well, so you're made aware of when new videos like this are available on the channel. They don't all start off as bad as what this one did, by the way. And of course, don't forget to come and join us on Twitch, Twitter, Discord, and Facebook. Details for all those are down below in the description. And most importantly, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and we'll see you again very, very soon back here at Duck Solar Gaming and Haut-Beyleron. See you later. Bye.